Yeah, I don't think there's any winning. You die. Like, that's the only truth. Like every Wikipedia page starts the same. They were born. And every Wikipedia page will end exactly the same. They died. That's it. Everything that happens in between is your life. But those are the only two inevitabilities. Those are the only two real things for certain. So I look at it as it's a game you can't win, meaning if you pursue money, like, your money will eventually be useless. The things you accumulate with it will be useless. Every car you own, someone else will either own it someday or it'll get to the scrap junkyard someday, or you'll give it to somebody. Like, it's all your material possessions will be utterly meaningless. And it's the same thing with our health. It's the same thing with, everything. Like, everything is totally fine and wonderful, and then you have a terrible splitting headache. And then the only thing that matters is that headache, and then that headache goes away. And for like a day, you go, I don't have that headache anymore. But did you wake up today and go, I don't have a headache? Oh, and the power's on, isn't that great? And I don't have cancer, isn't that good? No, you don't. You walk around going like, why aren't my page views where they're at? Or what happened with this? And why did that person be so nasty to me? Like, we get caught up in all this stuff, when in fact, the only thing that, again, if you keep, Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said, like, keep death and everything horrible in your line of sight, sort of memento mori, because nothing will bother you that much if you have that there. So I think life is a game that, look, we're playing it, we're doing our thing. But all relationships end. Every single marriage ends in death or divorce, but it ends. Every relationship ends. Your child, you will hopefully predecease your child, but your child will die someday. That's the nature of it. So we have created a culture where we really try not to talk about that. We really try to just keep that out of our gaze. Let's not talk about it. Our only depictions of death are preposterous. So we're not doing anyone, like, this is the part I don't understand, is that we don't want to talk about divorce. We don't want to talk about death. We don't want to talk about endings, because I think there's something in our brain that says if we talk about it, we're going to make it happen. And if we don't talk about it, we'll prevent it from happening. And that seems to me insane, because these are things that are absolutely inevitable when it comes to death and highly likely when it comes to divorce. I think we're all fascinated by this, but we don't want to talk about it over dinner conversation. But we know it's important. Something in us knows, this is important. Like, this is something that needs to be talked about and thought about.